Hello and welcome. My name is Bashir Fadl. I'd like to welcome you. I appreciate your support by subscribing to the channel. Today, we're going to continue into Linux administration and talk about an important part of it, which is commands. Okay, well, before we get into commands, the million-dollar question is there's two kinds of ways to do something in Linux, or generally any operating system. One is what we call a GUI, graphical user interface, GUI, and then the other one, which is command line. GUI basically means where you can right click, left click, and get things done. If I need to copy a file right now in this folder called best admin, I'll just double click on it. I have a Linux file, script one. I have a Linux scripts folder and I want to move it over. So I'll just do a right click, copy, right click up here and then just paste it if I did copy, and we're done. Command line is where I'll go in and type in the command, which in this case is going to be copy or move, so CP or MV, and then the file name, and then so I'm going to be typing so many things. Why the heck would I want to go through all that trouble? Why don't I just right click and left click? Why do we need commands? The reason we need commands is if you're doing something once, oh my God, just use the GUI interface, right click, left click, and be done. But the nature of our work as administrators is we need to do things with a lot of conditions, a lot of times. I need to move every single file that starts with this name or ends with this name from this folder to this folder every day. So that if I need to do that manually with a graphical interface and I have 100 files and I need to pick the certain names, it's going to be, it's going to be a lot of work, number one. Number two is a lot of our work is also repeated. So every day at 6 a.m., I need to move files from this folder to this folder. Again, and there could be exception handling and stuff. So scripting becomes a major part of our life, especially when doing things that have a lot of conditions and criterias. Or if we're doing something that happens on a regular basis, scripting, which is a lot of what we do. As such, we need to learn the commands. So the most important command in Linux, short for manual, imagine if you just had a manual that had all the different commands. There is. And the way to get to that is just a shortcut, M-A-N, man. And then you put whatever command it is. So the first command we want to do is we want to list the files that we have. We want to see the different files. And there's different what we call parameters. So what do? I just go in and type in man, and then the command we're going to look into is listing, ls. Notice there's a column at the end, which means there's more pages. So if I hit enter, it's going to tell me more and more and more. So ls is short for list directory contents, and this is how you could use it. And here's the options, and you list the files. And the more I keep entering, I'm just going to get more and more and more information on it. If I want to quit and get out of it, short for quit is q. I just type the letter q, and I'm out. I heard there's a command cp, short for copy. I'm not sure how to use it, so I'll just type in man cp, enter. Again, you can see the column at the end, which means there's more pages. I can keep enter and read through it. Anytime I want to quit, I just put the letter Q and I'm out of it. So man is the command that shows us how to get into the command line and interact with it. The other thing that's important, notice, is that in Linux, you're going to find that a lot of commands have what we call parameters. And that's why we need to look at the manual sometimes to make sure that we use it. Eventually, you guys are going to create scripts and be a lot more advanced and have a lot of experience, so we don't need to go back to the manual as much. But parameters are where, suppose I want to move a file. I want to copy a file from folder A to folder B. So it's going to be copy, and then the file location and the file name to the file location and the file name. So that's CP, the first parameter, and the second parameter. So as we're listing files, you're going to see there's a lot of commands. So I don't just type in CP, I type CP, and am I in the same folder? Do I need the folder name? Do I need a path? Do I need this? So every time when we're looking at the commands, as we continue from here onwards, you're going to see that the command has multiple parameters. We're going to look at the generally used parameters. But anytime you want to go back and review it, just type in man CP, and it's going to show us CP is short for copy files and directories. You have your copy, there's options, and here's the options, the directories. You could put this, keep doing enter, and it's going to show you all the different kind of scenarios that go along with it. So you have access to the manual, commands, and we know the importance of commands because, like I said, in our job as Linux administrators, there's going to be a lot of scripting, a lot of scheduled jobs. As Oracle database administrators, there's a lot of scheduled jobs and backups and recoveries and tests and files that need to move from one folder to the other and changing of permissions after the file is used and compressing and decompressing and so on. So there's a lot of value to learning those commands. Best of luck. We'll see you in the next episode, and please support us by subscribing.